Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
The plot continues to thicken as we probe deeper into the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section football playoffs, and tonight we have reached the semifinal stage. And Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is bringing you one of two standout ball games from Folsom High School this evening. The Monterey Trail Mustangs taking on the #1 Folsom Bulldogs. Good evening and welcome to Prairie City Stadium here on the campus of Folsom High School. Along with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino, I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard and promise you that tonight's action will be intense and quite possibly very dramatic. Coach, two contrasting styles coming into this game tonight. One of them's got to break.
It certainly has. It's pass versus run. Monterey Trail with that veer offense, capable of long drives, using up that clock. Explosive Folsom Bulldogs, a big play Bulldogs. The pressure is going to be on Monterey Trail to stay in this game early, run that vaunted veer at them, take their time scoring, keep the ball away from that potent Bulldog offense.
Well, as we know, the last time these two teams met was in the championship last year. It was a one-sided victory for Folsom, and you can best believe Monterey Trail has remembered that all the way up to and including right this minute. Let's take a look at the last outings for these two ball clubs. As we know, Folsom was coming off a bye, and the Mustangs had to do it the hard way, Jim.
Well, they did. They were behind in this football game, came from a 14-7 deficit. Prophet Brown, Big Value Brown, threw a key pass to ignite them. Ramsire, their running back, had a huge night, going for 174 yards, and the defense maintained themselves, coming away with a nice 28-21 victory.
Well, for the host, #1 Bulldogs, they had not so comfortable a time. They ran up against another high-scoring powerhouse in the Edison Vikings out of Stockton, and you can see there what a squeaker that was.
Well, it was a wake-up call for the Bulldogs. Jake Riethmeyer had a tremendous night, 356 yards, 5 TDs. Nagata is finally looked healthy. Young Danny Nagata, one of the top backs in the country, scampered for 168. And, of course, the DiGiorno provided the winning margin with a great kick, and you'll see him tonight playing a little bit as a receiver as well as kicking for the Bulldogs.
Well, there are many players that are going to leave a stamp on tonight's ball game and the outcome of it. Impact players certainly are going to be on the spot, and for Monterey Trail, Coach Ewing is certainly appreciative of his offensive linemen.
Well, let's start up front with this big three. Dan Ramirez, Mario Keenan, and Lethune Snipes leading the way. They are all league blockers. They get off the football and give them a golden opportunity. Coach thinks they're three of the best they've had here lately. And on defense, tackle machine Marcus Jones, another year over 100 tackles. KG Adams with sacks. Antonio Williams, who shines at linebacker and strong safety, leading the way. 4 interceptions this year.
Well, that collective defense will have its hands full as the Bulldogs average about 48 points a ball game, but they're going to counter with their own impact players, Coach.
C.J. Hutton headed for UC Davis, and they're going to get a good one because he can do it all. He's a receiver, a punt return guy, kickoff return. Elijah Badger being nationally recruited by all the big schools. Danny Nagata, he may be only 5'8", 5'9", but I'll tell you, he's big time, and it looks like he's finally healthy again. And then anchoring that defense, Dylan Richard, 3-year starter at linebacker. Big Deshaun Lynch, now starting on defense only. Expect a big night for him. Davian Blackwell at that linebacker spot. And I'll tell you what, the Bulldog defense has come alive here in the second half of the season.
Well, I do believe we have the table set for you tonight in one of 2 Division I semifinal battles. Monterey Trail here taking on top-ranked Folsom High School. Strap yourselves in and don't wander off, because when we return from this short break, our Lauren Goodman will be adding a lot more seasoning to the recipe of tonight's ball game. Stay with us.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
Welcome to the show this evening. We're at Folsom High School, Prairie City Stadium for tonight's Division I semifinal matchup. Monterey Trail coming in to take on number 1 Folsom. Let's turn our attention down to field level and join our partner, Lauren Goodman. What you got, Goody?
Well, guys, both teams came into a tough game last week. Just to get into this matchup, tonight is the 8th meeting between these two teams. They're coming in with a one-sided situation. Bulldogs have been leading the way. They come out, Folsom win the first 3 against the Mustangs. They've been averaging 49 points between these two teams. Now, Mustangs broke out in their only win in 2009 in a mid-season thriller, 22-21, as they snaked the Bulldogs. But the Folsom leads the series 6-1. Now, a staple in the Elk Grove community coming into his 15th year for the visiting team is TJ Ewing. He has had a tremendous season this year, coming off the tremendous season he had last year in 2018. Everything was going the Mustang way. He's the only head coach in school history. His best season again last season, where he was 10-0, and he had his longest winning streak at 12 games. Last year he made an SJS Finals appearance against these feisty Bulldogs. Now there's been many changes over here, but it hasn't slowed the Bulldogs down a bit. They're coming in with first-year guy Paul Doherty. Now, name sounds familiar? Yeah, he's had 2 stints at 2 different schools. One at Sac High, where he was there for 5 years, and then at Whitney most recently, where he was there for 2 years. He's coming in with the overall playoff record of 6-7. Both teams are just grateful to be here, and it's going to be an exciting matchup. Will.
Thank you, Goody. Yes, they are grateful to be here and appreciative of this status. It's only a select few that reach to this stage of the sectional playoffs, and Folsom, of course, continuing their awesome winning ways over the last 13, 14 years, and Monterey Trail duplicating an outstanding season of a year ago, but they're going to have to take out Folsom at home in order to reach the finals that they did last year. Coach Domino, we got the table set for a very intriguing matchup considering the contrast in styles that we spoke of.
Very much contrasting styles. You've got pass versus run. Veer offense geared for running, occasional play action pass, and look for tonight where you're going to see a flanker pass or a reverse pass or a halfback pass, because 1/3 of their touchdown passes have been from other than the quarterback.
Well, you've outlined some important keys and matchups in tonight's contest, Coach.
Well, we tried to here. The Veer ball control, yes. They don't want to score right away. Will they score right away? They're certainly capable. They got the running backs that can do it, believe me. Williams and Ramsair and Prophet Brown can go to the house, particularly Ramsair. Watch him. He's got moves. Limit big plays. They've got to try to keep in focus and not allow Badger and Riethmeyer, Nagata, and Hutton, they've got an army of guys that can make the big plays and go to the house. So the pressure's on the Monterey Trail D. Control the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a big factor tonight. If that front line with Keenan and Snipes and company can block and handle that defense of Folsom, certainly Monterey Trail will be very capable, happy to move the chains, get those first downs, and stay in control. One and done. Of course, the victor goes to the finals. The loser goes home. So it's one and done.
Well, that's the awful truth of it. And certainly it represents this other section here on your keys and matchups.
Well, we always have that, and we don't want to leave that out because, believe me, once again, it will be a factor. MPT, it usually is, mistakes, penalties, and turnovers. And those are the things the coaches don't want to separate, but unfortunately they occur in ball games. I don't know of any game I've seen that is mistake-free, penalty-free, etc. I haven't seen one yet. Have you, Will?
Not yet. Well, there you see the Folsom Bulldogs going into the locker room. Well, let's concentrate on some of those matchups you isolated, Jim.
Okay, well, as you look at those matchups, you got that receiving core here, pass versus run. That receiving core of Folsom is awesome, and any one of them, plus the backups, are very capable of not only running great routes, catching the football from Riethmeyer. Riethmeyer's got the big-time arm. The run, very capable runners in Ramsair and Prophet Brown. And Timonen is capable as well, the quarterback. So it's run versus pass. Mustang pressure versus Bulldog passing. In order to slow down big plays, you're going to have good pass rush. And the pressure on Wilson, Calvin, Keenan, and Broadway, that front four, plus those linebackers, that tackling machine, Marcus Jones is something else. Where do you see him tonight? 2 straight years of over 100 tackles. Metro versus Sierra Foothill. We don't have to tell you about Sierra Foothill. They had their usual number 4 or 5 teams qualify for playoff competition. It's such a tough league. probably not only one of the top leagues in Northern California, one of the top leagues in the whole state. And Metro League, first year for Monterey in there, and I'm sure those other schools didn't like to see Monterey Trail get in that league this year, having been in the Delta for all those years, Will.
I'm sure there's deep regret over those Metro League teams as you see the Folsom Bulldogs pouring out of their mascot. As we're getting closer to game time, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the Imperators rankings. Stay with us.
Problems, the ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back. This is Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week with Jim Domino and Lauren Goodman. I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard as you see the meeting at midfield for the upcoming coin toss and so forth. But let's take a quick look at the latest rankings compiled by the Imperator. We'll roll through that.
Okay, as we look at our rankings here, Folsom again, number one. Has been number one throughout the year. Intercom playing tonight up in Oak Ridge, 2 versus 3 tonight in a big game up the hill. Monterey Trail here tonight, number 4 versus 1. Capital Christian at 5 playing Manteca tonight, hosting Manteca. 6 Davis has been eliminated last week by Intercom. We had that game. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Center at 7, Placer at 8. Cosumnes Oaks with a rematch with Elk Grove, this time at Cosumnes Oaks. Rio Linda at 10, Jesuit at 11, playing host to number 13, Whitney, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Jesuit. And then also in the red zone, you have Vista, Rockland, Del Oro, Antelope, Yuba City, Roseville, Pleasant Grove. And in that red zone, the only team still in the running in the playoffs is number 13, Whitney. Riding the bubble is Granite Bay, Bradshaw Christian playing tonight against Center, and Casa Roble, Colfax, Rosemont having a great season under Coach Wanlin.
Thanks, Jim. Stay with us. Up next, our opening kickoff.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating. Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap.
You were saying. And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
Just about ready for tonight's opening kickoff on a brisk evening, 58 degrees at present. Monterey Trail taking on Folsom. And let's take a look at the representatives from the NCOA to keep this game fair and square. Bob Reeve, the veteran referee, working with umpire Martin Tomlinson. Kevin Melrose, our head linesman. The line judge, Kurt Baer. Renan Maddox in the back. And the alternate, if needed, Steve Rohr. Bulldogs won toss. They deferred. They will kick off to Monterey Trail. DiGiorno's been doing a whale of a job in the kicking department for the Bulldogs. And twin returners deployed for the Mustangs, Jackson and Williams. Jackson 14, Williams 23, stationed at the Mustang 5. There's the boot. We are underway, and it's a touchback well out of the end zone. And on the season for DiGiorno, he has registered 32 touchbacks, now make it 33. Well, let's take a look. See what we're working with. Timonen at quarterback, Ramsjur and Brown. They'll get their hands on the ball a lot. Blanton and Adams the wides, and Banwaite the tight end. And there's that old line that's been so effective blocking in that veer. Snipes, Argumedo, Ramirez, Talakai, and Mario Keenan, the vet. So the Mustangs open at their own 20. And here comes the first play from scrimmage. A run play is smothered for maybe a yard or so, and this tough D is going to really have their hands full figuring out this veer offense. They were sure ready on that one. Lynch, Springer, Melander, and Fury, that front four, they've got a lot of sacks. The backers have been very active. And the secondary, opportunistic. Blackwell, Richard, and Wong, the backers. And then they'll play the four in the back. Higgins, Turbin, Navarro, and McMillan. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. They try to come to the near side. A slip tackle, another slip. And finally spun out of bounds. A nice gain, shy of first down yardage, but close.
Well, Prophet Brown got a little after contact there. He showed his elusiveness.
They put the football at the 26. Gain of 5 will make it 3rd and 4. We're just underway here at Prairie City Stadium on the campus of Folsom High School. And a big play upcoming early on here as the Mustangs try to sustain. He's going to throw. He flips it out to the far side. It's complete. It's a first down and a whole lot more. Big speed up the right sideline. And finally, 3 Bulldogs are able to contain. And that was a beautiful job right there on a key third down. They pick up 27. Let's take another look.
I love the call. Watch this swing pass to Brown. Brown turning the corner before he's knocked out of bounds, and a nice gain.
They make it to the Folsom 47-yard line, so a clutch 3rd down pickup, and the Mustangs are on the move. Nothing doing.
Well, they're tight splits. Folsom looked like he barely got to the line of scrimmage.
That interior line just swallowed up that play.
Well, watch that Mustang line. They are shoulder to shoulder, foot to foot. No splits in that line. Getting off. Yet the Bulldog running a 4 front, but watch how close the linebackers are, almost defying them to pass.
They gain a foot on the play. We'll make it 2nd and a long 9. Wideouts left and right. Now we see some motion. Timonen to throw. Left sideline. He's got a man out there, and it's a catch along the sideline and out of bounds. What concentration that time. Wow.
Wow, Antonio Williams. Wow. I think everybody's surprised, including us, Will. We had 2 passes in the first 5 downs. Can you believe that at a Monterey Trail?
I do. And here's another look at the second one.
Well, You can see what an athlete Antonio Williams is with that catch, the ball thrown behind him.
It was tremendous concentration because that defender was there pressuring the play and distracting. But it's a first down, football at the Folsom 24-yard line. Solo wide receiver to the far side, twin backs behind Timonen. First back has it, and they try to smash it and get a couple.
Well, number 20 Ramseur, you'll see a lot of him tonight, right behind Telekai and Keenan, and Ramirez. Right side got off, but only got 2 yards. I thought he got more than that, but it shows 2-yard gain at the most.
Well, they substitute a couple of players. So Timonen, boy, look at that tight formation. Those backs are right behind him. He keeps and splits them and lurches ahead and gets inside the 20 for a nice little bite.
I like that. Notice that number 10, Prophet Brown, was wide open on the pitch as well. The running lane was open for Timonen, and the pitch route was open.
And here you see the replay of Timonen moving ahead now. It's a 3rd and 4 upcoming. Football parked at the 18-yard line.
As you know it, that Veer offense holding on to the football. We've already gone through 4 minutes of play already.
Double wide to the right. They come to the near side, though, trying to get outside, but too many defenders there, and that play is smothered.
Well, what really made it was a penetration by number 13 in that secondary. Wow, McMillan came up fast. Well, he forced that to go inside.
They lose a couple, or one. It's going to bring up a 4th and 5. Football moved back to the 19. There you see Dylan Richard, 31, the focal point of that Folsom defense and the team's leading tackler. So it looks like a field goal try upcoming. So Soto is going to be spotted at the 27, make it a 37 for this left-footed kicker. Good snap, booted, got the distance, but wide left. So the drive fizzles and the field goal attempt is wide and the ball goes over. They do, however, Monterey Trail that is, chew up a good slice of this first quarter now. We're at the 7:14 mark. 4 minutes, 46 seconds on the drive. That comes up empty.
Well, they did what they wanted to do, but they couldn't score in the red zone. They wanted to use the clock.
That will result in a first down, Monterey Trail.
Is that right? Hold the phone, check the record. First down for Monterey Trail on the penalty. How about that? The football marched just inside the 10-yard line. First and goal at the Folsom 9-yard line, and new life for the Mustangs. Let's see what they do with the opportunity. That hasn't worked yet.
No, it hasn't, and they have averaged about 2 yards, 1 or 2 yards on that. And look, once again, they're letting Timonen have a free quarterback running lane along with that pitch back.
Ramseur with that last carry.
Yeah, I look for them to run option pitch or pass right here. That swing pass has been wide open. And it's been a while where you've seen 2 passes in the first 5 minutes of the football game from Monterey Trail.
Antonio Williams wide to the right side. Twin backs. Here's the 11th play of the drive. Running wide right, track down near the 5. That was a straight out foot race. And penalty marker down. Lonnie Turbin defending their 44.
Well, he turned the corner and got down to about the 4.
.624. Clock stopping on that out of bounds. Here's a 3rd and goal from the 4. From the right hash. Blasting left, lurching toward the goal line. No call yet.
Well, the left side of the
Wow.
trail thought he broke the plane.
It certainly did appear that way. They placed the football at the 1-foot line. Let's take a look. Ramseur with the carry, and I would say he broke the plane. I do believe they got shortchanged on that. Let's see what happens here. 5:48, clock rolling, 4th down. They blast it home. Touchdown, Mustangs. Caleb Ramseur. So the Mustangs break out on top after getting new life on the penalty. The score comes at the 5:44 mark here in the first, and there's a wake-up call for everyone.
Well, I know this. They silenced the crowd temporarily, for sure.
Soto on for the PAT. And got it. 5:44 of the first. Here's how the Mustangs take the lead. Ramseur up behind a good block. Stay with us. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Well, the Monterey Trail Mustangs draw first blood on top. Here's the ensuing kickoff by Soto. Bobbled near the far sideline and out of bounds there. And that's, I believe, where they're going to mark it. Oh, my goodness.
Well, it looked like Dan Nagata was trying to pick it up, and it just went off his hands. Boy, that's a break for the Monterey Trail D. And while we're waiting for them to come out of that huddle, that was a 13-play drive using 6 minutes and 16 seconds, 80-yard drive, and believe it or not, 49 of those yards were via the pass, Will.
Want to thank Rob Bimpson, an ace on our stats, keeping us in the game. First down from the Bulldog 5. Heavy pressure at the goal line. Was it a safety?
He recovered a fumble, I thought.
It's a fumble recovery at the goal line. Let's unpile him. Okay, merely an energetic play. There's the defense. Wilson, Calvin, Keenan, and Broadway in that front four. 2nd and 14. They lose 4 on the play.
Well, he just got 5 back. What I don't understand is why didn't the officials give the defensive players time to come back from running off the field?
I don't have the answer to that one. They rolled the clock at the 5:07. It's 7-0 in case you've just joined us. Monterey Trail drove 80 yards on first possession to score. Now weaving his way right up the middle. Riethmeyer all the way out past the 20. Let's see where they spot him though. Spin the replay dial. "13 yards on the carry by Riethmeyer. First down at the Bulldog 19-yard line. He wants to throw, throws deep, and overthrows his intended receiver out there.
Receiver wanting a flag. There was no flag on that. It was great defense by that corner.
Broussard, the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. That might have been a probe to see about the coverage out there.
Very definitely, they're going to test running that fade, whether they go to it or not.
So the Bulldogs working from the far hash mark. Short drop this time and long sideline route, completely covered, and a penalty marker out. Nakai Broadway, 25, with part of that defensive coverage. Penalty against the Monterey Trail Mustangs on the push. They put the football at the 34.
Interference on the defense results in a first down.
Okay, pass interference sets up the Bulldogs at the 34-yard line. They're down 7 here with 4:36 to go in the first. Short clip, it goes to Nagata. Big running room. Who's got him? And he's finally dropped just outside the Monterey Trail 40. First down, Bulldogs. 25 yards on the catch and run. Another look as the Bulldogs line up quick. He was wide open with no defender.
They're in tempo now.
Two wides to the left, 3 wides to the left, should say, and 1 to the right. Riethmeyer's going to keep and works ahead cautiously. He gets about 5 yards to the 36 or so. Second down upcoming. They gave him 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. He wants to throw deep. He's going down the field for Badger. Off his hand. Incomplete. Defended there, 1-and-1. Coverage on the play by Brown. Let's take another look at that. That was a foot race, flat out.
They need to keep this tempo.
Nice toss by Riethmeyer. That was a pretty excellent strike.
That time Riethmeyer was heavily under pressure.
3rd and 6 from the Monterey Trail 37-yard line. 3 wide outs to the left. Over the middle, overthrown. He had Cottrell out there with a step on the secondary, but just a little too much.
Well, Riethmeyer's got a big-time arm, but he's thrown up when he throws off that back foot, that ball is sailing on him. Okay? Throwing off that back foot, flat-footed there, the ball is sailing.
Just a little too far, as you saw. Cottrell couldn't quite get to it. So here's 4th and 6, all or nothing for the Bulldogs here. crowd coming alive here, wanting their Bulldogs to tie up this ball game. They're down 7-0. Most of this first period has been chewed up. A bobble. Riethmeyer tries to get after it, and that's a fumble recovery right there. That is a turnover on a bobbled snap that was on the money.
Christian Calvin with a recovery. Alert Christian Calvin.
That's not good. Man, they better wake up with that quarterback sneaker. I think they are that.
Great camera work.
We can remember his brother, the quarterback on those excellent teams in 2008 through 2009. Yes. So the ball goes over. 3:28 to go. First down for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from their 43. Twin wides to the right. Backs are split. Hitch pass right side. Little running room, big running room. He splits the defenders and gets inside the 40.
Yeah, I tell you something, Antonio Williams, a gifted athlete, playing tonight in that halfback position as well as wide receiver, and he plays a combination strong safety and linebacker tonight.
A gain of 17 yards on the play. They're racking up excellent yardage through the air, quite uncharacteristic. Now from the Bulldog 40 after the first down completion. Turn and toss. They come to the left side and breaking out on an inside-out move, and he's going to be gone for the distance. Downtown Brown, Prophet Brown from 40. That inside-out bob and weave shook him loose. And the Mustang lead increases to 13-0. Comes at the 2:52. And that was even more of a wake-up. That was a rather patented Veer offensive touchdown run.
Yes, we said they're giving them the pitch early today. They're playing the dive, and they sucked on the dive, and here comes the pitch.
Soto on for the PAT. He's 1 for 1 from there and has missed a field goal attempt. Boot on the way and got it. 2:52 of the first, and here's the big play. And you'll see Brown a couple moves here and the big cut that got him outside. Stay with us, more to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
There's the Soto kickoff, short outside the 5. And taken by Badger, who runs through the entire defense. Now he's going to cut to the far side. Here's a foot race. I don't know if he can be caught. I don't believe so. They try to cut him off near the 20 and do. They give up the big return all the way to the 18-yard line. 74 yards, Elijah Badger. First down, ideal situation for Folsom, having to just go a short part of the field, and that's exactly the kind of a play Monterey Trail was trying to avoid.
Well, big play Folsom, there you have it, one of their big plays.
From the far hash mark, 2 wideouts left and right. Now we see motion, and he's going to run it. and gets dropped. What a nice solo tackle there. Marcus Jones in on the play and getting some excellent help that time from his teammate, Umi Wilson. Three consecutive low snaps now to Riethmeyer. One of them, as you see there, the nice low ankle tackle on Nagata. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Riethmeyer to throw, fires deep left side, overthrown. Those overthrows have been by plenty. Badger, the intended receiver. Let's take a look now. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8, and there's that offense. Riethmeyer at QB, and he's had quite a year. He's thrown for a ton of yards, nearly.
Watch for C.J. Hutton. They haven't gone to him yet. C.J. Hutton, look out, number 3.
3rd and 8 from the 16-yard line. They come after him with pressure. He throws a bullet that's broken up. Tough D right there. A linebacker right in the passing lane. Nikai Broadway with the quick reaction. 4th and 8.
Well, they lined up in a 4-man front, but they ended up dropping Broadway and ended up in 8 in coverage, Will. They showed a 4-man front and dropped Broadway, who's a very good athlete.
So the big play for Folsom. They're down 14-0. 1 for 6 passing thus far for Riethmeyer, uncharacteristic of the season he's had. Big pressure! He gets off the pass and it's dropped. Incomplete on the throw to Broussard, and the drive fizzles.
That was a great call. It was the right call. Running that screen to Broussard, and he's trying to run with the ball without catching it, Will. He didn't have control.
Not control, but boy, that was the quickest heat I've seen applied yet. Those pass rushers, as you'll see here, come at him right now. 4 of them. And there's the drop. He wishes he had that one back.
He certainly does.
So they take over 1st and 10 for the Mustangs with 1:45 to go. Football at their 16-yard line. Short yardage. A little bit more breathing room for Brown. They give him a tough 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 7. Football out to the 19-yard line. We're in the final minute 20 of the first quarter. Monterey Trail has taken the initiative and held it.
Here they are. Watch this tight splits in the line. The only split they have is the guard center split there about 2 feet.
Possible loose football there on a big pileup.
Bad exchange. Center quarterback exchange. Timonen pulled out early. Timonen, the quarterback, pulled out early.
Let's take another look and we'll see if we can spot that.
Out.
He sure did. He turned quick, lost it. That brings up a 3rd and 9. They lose 2 on the play. .35 seconds to go in the quarter. And I believe this crowd is a wee bit surprised at what has evolved here early on. On 3rd and 9. A busted play and a loss. Inside the 15-yard line. Somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be, and Lynch was all over that, along with a couple teammates.
Well, Monterey Trail let this quarter run out here. They're not in any hurry to punt, and the quarter's going to come to a close.
We've played one here at Prairie City Stadium on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. And stay with us, 14-0. Ah, yes. I would be remiss if I didn't say Access Sacramento and Hometown Sports Game of the Week would like to thank Casa Ramos Mexican Food Restaurant in Folsom for sponsoring the TV crew meal tonight. This type of sponsorship really helps out a nonprofit foundation like us. Besides plenty of chips and homemade salsa and guacamole, we were provided with samples of their burritos, taquitos, flautas, and quesadillas. All those with a mix of chicken and slow-cooked carnitas. Spectacular! So thanks again to Casa Ramos Mexican Food Restaurant for supporting Access Sacramento and Game of the Week. They switch ends of the field to start quarter number 2, and this is in the danger zone as far as Monterey Trail is concerned. They're in a 4th and 11 punt situation. Adams will do the booting. He's standing just outside his goal line. Solo returner. The punt, a low line drive, and it's going to bounce and give Monterey Trail a few extra yards to midfield and no return. 36 yards on the punt, and the Bulldogs will have a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, at their 49-yard line. 14-0, Monterey Trail taking advantage of a penalty that sustained a long drive, and they smacked it in from close range, and then a long touchdown run by Brown for the 2nd score.
Man to man.
He's going to run it and breaks through, nobody home.
Safety.
This is going to go the distance. Riethmeyer untouched. It worked like a charm, 51 yards. I bet he didn't even believe that.
Well, they lined up man-to-man, no safety. All the secondary lined up like linebackers with the wide receivers. One play, 11 seconds, 51 yards. Can you imagine that?
That chops it considerably, and if they click on the DiGiorno PAT, they will have reduced it by half. And that is the type of play that will arouse this big Bulldog crowd here at Folsom High. Nice chip shot on the money. And here's the run by Riethmeyer. Untouched, right up the middle, easy as you can get. New ball game. Stay with us. Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Well, this kickoff will be aborted, and we'll find out why from game referee Bob Reeve.
We had a dead ball encroachment on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the kickoff.
MPT. MPT.
Comes into play in every ball game.
Well, Folsom has fumbled the football, and they've been hit, I believe, with 3 penalties. And they had a mistake bobble on the kickoff. Bad fielding at the 4-yard line.
Well, they were very fortunate it didn't cost them a touchdown on the bobble ball, where Riethmeyer avoided the safety there barely.
Kickoff fading now, taking it about the 9. And a run back for above average field position to the 26 or 27 on the run back that time. Jamari Jackson, a real speedster.
Jamari Jackson on that kickoff return, outstanding corner, only a junior, plays heavily into their plans for next year as a running back possibly.
I think you've got that pegged pretty well. So the Mustangs will open from their 25, on top 14-7. Twin wides to the near side. Well, that one got stymied and then thrown back hard after about a 1-yard carry.
Well, Jake Melander, Springer, and Lynch and Furry are doing a job up front. That front four, look at them, pushing people around.
Well, Caleb Ramseur, a tough, hard-nosed runner, had a tough carry that time. He does get 2, though, 2nd and 8. Quick pass, near side. It's a hookup, but can he get away from the defense? Wrestled out near first down yardage. We'll have to see about the spot. Antonio Williams with the grab and run.
Well, what's amazing is Antonio Williams, an outstanding athlete, but what I'm seeing is Folsom's going to have to tighten up their secondary. The tackling in the open field is questionable.
He carries for the first down with some tough running.
Well, once again, you got to get better reaction out of Higgins, Navarro, McMillan, and Turbin. Really, I'll give credit in the world to Williams, who got a lot out of that play. He really did.
Fresh set of downs for the Mustangs, operating from their 35. The quick opener didn't open up too far.
No, they love to do it, though. 1st and 10, they're going to run that dive. First down, 7 carries. Wow. Averaging 7 carries for 11. That's not much. But they're going to run that dive and just tease you a little bit, Will. You know?
They get 2 on that carry, so we'll call it a 2nd and 8 upcoming. Clock rolling along here early in the second quarter. 9 minutes, 50 seconds rolling. Timonen hands it to Brown. He's trying to bob for an opening and gets dropped for a loss. Too much defense that time. Well played by Wong.
Well, Wong has done a job. He's steady all season long. Over 60 tackles. You know, everybody knows about Dylan Richard. They don't know much about Alex Wong, but he's been consistent all year long.
Well, he's got 63 tackles coming into this game. Outstanding linebacker. It's going to be a 3rd and 10 as they lose a couple on the play. Clutch down upcoming. It's a long throw, overthrown. He was going for Adams on the play, but the pass was wide and in between double coverage out there, so that'll bring up a punting situation here on 4th and 10.
Well, the way those linebackers are playing so tight, Will, I'm surprised since he's gone outside every time he throws a pass, a swing pass, or a hitch pass out there. But the middle, the linebackers are so tight, the middle is wide open.
Well, let's see if they pick that up. Out of 5 passes, that was his first incompletion after hitting his first 4. Badger, the single safety, and there's the punt. Line drive away from him, and it's going to take a great Monterey Trail roll. Downed inside the 25-yard line, so the Mustangs boot their way out of trouble there. 41 yards on the punt. Nice job and nice downfield coverage by Caleb Ramseur.
Well, you've noticed each time Riethmeyer has run the quarterback draw, one for a touchdown, but previous to that he had a big gainer. And they split you out wide with 3 wides to the wide side. Force you to play man-to-man, and the middle is wide open.
The first time he picked up 13. And then the 51-yard run. Low snap, he's down to get it.
That's a 4th low snap tonight. And Nagata didn't have much control of that football.
They lose one on the play. 2nd and 11. Back to the 23. They dispatch twin wide receivers to the near side. Riethmeyer looking left all the way, deep sideline route. And a penalty marker flies out. Incomplete on the pass. We'll see about the penalty marker.
Well,
intended on the play for Broussard. Let's take a look here.
Well, he's tossed that. That's his 2nd interference by that official from center field, the back judge. He's called 2 tonight.
That one on Jamari Jackson. Tight coverage on Broussard. 1st down for the Bulldogs.
We had pass interference on the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
As the Imperator said, the 2nd call of that nature cleans the slate, and Bulldogs start fresh, 1st and 10 from the Folsom 38. Nagata in motion. A bullet out to the near side. That's on the money and complete. Hutton down the sideline. Gets past everyone to the 5. Touchdown Bulldogs. A catch and run, 62 yards, and the big play stings the Mustangs again.
They love that play with motion away. They run motion away and check your coverage in the secondary when they run that motion away.
Well, it's going to be all coming back on a penalty. Bob Reeve, he'll give us the word right here. You see Paul Doherty upset about that call.
There he is.
Oh my goodness. On the offense, receiver was covered and caught the ball. It's a loss of down penalty. It's 2nd down.
That receiver, the wide receiver, was not a yard back. They had an extra man on the line of scrimmage at that time. And that brought it back.
Wipes out the touchdown and a penalty flag flies.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense.
They've had 2 of those. 2 encroachments. First and 10 from the 33. Low snap, he's got it and fires deep left side to the near side. Broussard's got it as they lost track of the football. A zigzag move and he makes the 25.
Well, they had a flag on the play, but I believe it's against Monterey Trail.
Cameron Broussard, the transfer from Casumnas Oaks. Holding against the defense.
7 yards. That's holding on that wide receiver. The corner was holding on to him. Obviously, they're taking the play. Another big play for the Bulldogs.
On the defense, penalty is declined. 1st down.
So they don't take the penalty. They've got the gain instead. 1st down right now at the Monterey Trail, 25. Timeout on the field taken by the Mustangs. Yes, I think it warrants a replay, certainly. That was an important play.
As he goes down the sideline, the corner is holding him, and you can't see it here. But the holding took place earlier in the route, approximately 15 yards down the field, right in front of the Folsom bench.
Well, there's the outcome. If you'll see here, on the throw. Jamari Jackson had the coverage. He loses track of the football here. He has his back to the play, and you can see he's got his attention elsewhere, and there's the concentration by Broussard.
Well, we haven't seen much of Danny Nagata tonight. 2 carries, total of 1 yard, and they're going to the air real quick like. And quite frankly, we thought Nagata was healthy enough where we'd see more action here tonight, at least touch the ball. 1 catch for 25 yards, which was something.
1st and 10, football at the Monterey Trail 25. We're at the 7:43 mark, nearing midway second, a 14-7 lead. Riethmeyer going for Badger. Nobody's made a call yet. Oh my goodness, touchdown Bulldogs. Wow, that took for a while, and I think we saw 2 officials looking at each other to get the nod.
Who's going to make the call? Here it is. Great camera work.
What'd you see, Coach?
His foot was on the line, and he only needs 1 foot in high school. That's a great shot. That's great camera work. Wow, his foot was definitely part of the line.
So they're within a point of tying it, and DiGiorno ties it at the 7:36 mark. 1 more look. Brown with the coverage, about as tight as you can get. We'll hold it right here. Another look, and there's the throw there. Slow motion is beautiful. Toe out of bounds, huh? Wow, very close play. Great camera work, guys. We are tied at 14 after the 27-yard aerial connection from Riethmeyer to Badger. So the Bulldogs on the deck, trailing 14-zip, have come roaring back with the big play to tie the game. Booming kickoff, 2 yards deep, and a touchback. So the Mustangs will open shop, 1st and 10 from their 20. Having been caught here now at 14, we'll see about the play calling now.
Well, they surprised the Bulldog defense by throwing the football early and mixing it up. And they've got to let Timonen do his thing on the passing and not wait till 3rd and long. Let's see if they do something other than dive on the first play, Will.
Let's see. Double wide receivers to the left.
Dive left.
There it is.
But they did get better get off from Argumedo, and Ramirez and Snipes got off the football and gave him a 4-yard gain.
Gain of 4. Make it 2nd and 6. Clock rolling here at the 7:15 mark. So the Bulldogs had the touchdown on the long play to Hutton, wiped out by a penalty, but they come right back and drive it and then cash in on the TD to Badger.
The quarterback's getting time to throw, Will. They were rushing him more in the first quarter.
Short drop, he wants to throw. Brown was open and made a one-handed catch.
Prophet Brown.
Wow.
Over the head.
That was spectacular.
Well, I like this. 2nd down.
Coming right at you.
Coming at you. Beautiful catch here. Look at this. Great camera work.
How about that? 1st down, Mustangs.
Wow.
Gain of 13 on that.
Once again on 2nd down, Will, he didn't limit him to 3rd or 4th down. I like the call very much. Surprised the Bulldog D.
So they showed the same formation, split backs and double wides to the left. Well, that is, they get 5 or 6 on the play.
across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Ramseur, boy, he's tough.
He is. Those are tough yards. Let's look at that again. There's that dive motion, and look at Ramseur spin. Yards after contact. Outstanding effort by Khalib. Ramseur picks up a tough 8 yards.
Clock rolling 6:10, midway second, a 14-14 tie in this D1 semifinal. Monterey Trail on the move. Motion in the backfield, they toss to Brown. Room to the outside, watch his speed.
I love the fake by Timonen. That's the best fake he made tonight after the dive. Outstanding fake.
First down, running a big chunk from Prophet Brown, who's had a stellar performance thus far, as he did a week ago in Stockton. Toss to Brown, Timonen set that up. 22 yards on that play. It's the 6th first down for the Mustangs.
Great ball handling by Victor Timonen. This is as good as I've seen him play in the key ball game, Will. Timonen with an outstanding first half performance.
They cannot sneak through the line that time. Tough defensive line play. Jake Melander in on the stop. Gain of 2 will make it 2nd and 8. Football at the Bulldog 32 here. Clock rolling along, 5:25 to go. Flip side of quarter number 2. There you see an outstanding defensive end, Grant Fury. So far, the Mustangs have averaged less than 2 yards per carry on first down. Let's see if any of that changes. He keeps, darts inside, and gets caught lunging inside the 30 to about the 29.
The pitch was open. Timonen picked up 3, but that pitch was open.
It'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 29 after the 3-yard run. Up to the line come the Mustangs. They've taken 3 minutes off the clock since receiving the kickoff, and now a timeout called by Monterey Trail at the 4:24 mark. We'll step down ourselves and come right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Here's a big 3rd and 5 upcoming after the timeout. There was line movement and flags fly.
False start on the offense. Repeat 3rd down.
That'll cost him 5 and bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 34. Third and slightly more than 10. Interesting to see what they're going to do with this one.
Well, if they have a screen pass in their offensive playbook, it's the time to run it.
Antonio Williams out to the near side. Back split. Chris Lands is in there with Ramseur. Timona to throw. A wild pass overthrown to the sideline and incomplete.
It was well covered. There's nowhere to go. A very dangerous pass. He was running out of the field.
So 4th and 10 upcoming.
Well, so many of the wing T teams and the veer teams, particularly wing T, you don't see them running many screens or draws. But to me, that last down, 3rd down and long, with heavy pressure, the screen was, to me, a play to make because to take the pressure off the quarterback, Folsom was really turning everybody loose.
Okay, let's see if they turn everybody loose on this one. But I think we're going to have another timeout, and that is Monterey Trail's final timeout of the first half. So I got to believe they're going to install something completely different here.
Well, TJ saw the defense line up in here, and he didn't like it with the play he had called. So why not take it now? This is a big play with 4 minutes to go in the half.
It's been a wild first half. We've seen quite a contradictory game plan for what most people anticipated out of Monterey Trail, Jim.
Very definitely. They came out throwing, and it was shocking that we had seen 3 or 4 passes in the first 6 to 9 downs and close to 100 yards of passing in the first half alone, and the half not over.
So here we go, 4th and 10. Let's see what TJ Ewing and the Mustangs have up the sleeve. Double wide to the near side, motion shown by Brown. They toss to him. It's a reverse, it's bobbled, grabbed, lands, running for the sideline, turns the corner, and I don't believe he made it. And a flag flies late. Probable horse collar, and that will sustain the drive if that's the case.
Well, guess what? On that reverse, he was going to throw, but there was nobody to throw to. And he wisely held on to the ball.
Let's take another look if we can. And it's a first down as they move the chains. Football parked at the 22. 1st and 10, Monterey Trail.
Well, we knew we were going to see that sooner or later, Will, weren't we? We're going to see that halfback or reverse pass. Or
I think we'll see it again and again in selected parts of this game.
Oh, I definitely feel we will. I agree with you.
He's got the solo man out wide left, Antonio Williams, with single coverage, but they run left. It's Chris Lands getting inside the 20 and then being shoved back. Let's see where they spot him.
I know Monterey Trail wants to score here, but again, they also want to use this clock wisely here and not, number 1, score in the red zone, which they're in the red zone. Number 2, if they don't give the ball back to the Bulldogs.
So far in this game, Monterey Trail has racked up more than 15 minutes in time of possession. Impressive. 2nd and 8 from the 20. Good line blocking on that play, and they barge inside the 15.
And great second effort. Great get off by the right side. Keenan, Telekai Ramirez, and tight end Banwait really getting off the football. An extra drive in there looked like Prophet Brown.
3rd and 2. Football at the 14-yard line. After the gain of 4. Tight formation this time.
Well, he looked like he picked up 2. He only needed a yard and a half.
He makes the 10-yard line, and they move the chains. 1st down, Monterey Trail.
I would be slow huddling here, Will, using my maximum. Do not self-penalize. Do not delay the game, but slow it down. They've got to slow it down here.
12 plays thus far in this drive, and they've soaked up more than 5 minutes in time of possession, and whistles blow. It looks like another timeout upcoming from Folsom this time at the 2:22 mark.
Well, Folsom is smart to use their timeouts because they know Monterey Trail wants to score, but they're going to be out of time. And that's a wise timeout by the Bulldogs.
This has been a wild game so far, and I'm quite sure sitting on a 14-14 tie is something that not many people anticipated at this stage of the game.
No, absolutely not. Give Monterey Trail all the credit in the world, and of course, keeping the ball away from Folsom might be in your game plan, but it's not the easiest thing to do. And of course, they've scored quickly tonight twice, and then they had one big one call back. But what I noticed when Riethmeyer runs that draw play, Will, and he's done it all year long, they'll line up trips extra wide, sometime quads, and spread and play 7-on-7 with you inside.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10 from the 11. Tight formation shown by the Mustangs. Line movement and whistles blow and a flag flies.
Looks like encroachment, Bulldogs.
I think Folsom.
We have a dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Over anxious are the Bulldogs. Now make it 1st and goal from the 6. Here we go. Power blast again. They get a couple yards closer inside the 5, it looks like. And the Bulldogs call another timeout.
Well, they not only want, to repeat this, not only to stop Monterey Trail, but get the ball back. And quite frankly, with 2:18 on that clock, Monterey Trail is in no hurry. They want to score. They cannot come away empty-handed here, Will.
Now they must score, and mind you, they've already missed a field goal attempt earlier in this ball game. They still have the 2 touchdowns. So if it comes down to that, they'll be in a closer position for the field goal, which was a miss from further out. It was from 37.
Well, he's got a chip shot here if they have to, but give that opportunity. Now they're playing that dive. They can get a first down here, Will, on about the 1 or 2 yard line.
So here we go.
They can move the chains here. They only got 1.5 yards to get a first down.
They can get it first without a score. Let's see how they handle it. They power up, and looks like touchdown Mustangs as they blast in there. Caleb Ramshure, and that line surge was tremendous.
Snipes and Argumedo really got off, Will. Wow.
Mustangs back on top after a concerted drive that chewed up a major hunk of time, and they're now on top 20-14 after the Ramshure touchdown. Here's Soto on for the PAT. Spotted, big rush, he gets it off and got it at 2:14. Late second, Mustangs back in front. There's one replay. Ramshure, a tough nail, back to back, break a tackle and spin home. What an effort there by that tough mini back from Monterey Trail, Caleb Ramshure. 2 touchdowns tonight, and it represents a 21-14 Mustang lead. Very impressive.
Very impressive is right. And just as we were saying, they could get a first down on about the 1 or 2 yard line. Why, he crashed it in there. I love that spin move after contact.
We've seen that a number of times, and he always seems to get extra yardage out of it.
Yes, he does.
It has to be a well-timed move.
What a drive. 80 yards, 13 plays, and most notably, 5 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock. Thank you, Rob Bempson, our great statistician, for updating us here.
Well, we spoke of time of possession in your keys and matchups, everything in there thus far has impacted this game. A chip shot kickoff taken on the run outside the 20, trying to come to the near side and shake free, and he runs out of field, but a spirited run back there nearly to the 35-yard line. Still 2:05 left in this quarter, 12 yards. And we'll see what the Bulldogs try to come up with here on offense, trailing it now 21-14.
Well, that's a ton of time for a team like the Bulldogs. They don't huddle for one thing, and watch them. If they move the chains, they will quickly come to the line of scrimmage and get a playoff. Let's see if they run that quarterback draw again.
Well, they've got a safety back there now for sure. To the near side, little room there, and it's well defended. Maybe a couple on the play.
Well, they may be running near side for a reason. I don't know. Maybe just to slow down, stop the clock. And since they used some timeouts, Well,
they got a better hunk than I thought they did on that. Looks like a 4-yard pickup will make it 2nd and 6 from the 37. They run to the near side again. Nagata hemmed in and dropped.
Well, this time he's didn't use the sideline to his advantage here. The clock running.
That was a good effort by Nagata, and then hard tackling to finish that play.
Nagata bounces it outside, and I'll tell you, there's some defensive speed on Monterey Trail. Let me tell you, they got a lot of linebacker-sized guys playing on that D.
3rd and 3 from the 40. Riethmeyer deep left sideline going for Badger. Broken up. Wow, stride for stride.
Well,
that was some coverage there by Prophet Brown. That's been a duel all night long.
I agree. I don't like that face guarding down the sideline, though. I thought we were going to see a flag there.
4th and 3. Let's take a look.
Wow.
Nice strike by Riethmeyer. Beautiful job.
Good defense.
Excellent position. 4th and 3 from the 40. Riethmeyer pulls back and looks to the sideline, and now
timeout. That's their last timeout.
3rd and final timeout. Do they have one left? Okay, so they're going to talk it over now on 4th and 3. They can run just about anything they want.
I know they can. That surprises me. I thought we accounted for 2 Folsom timeouts there prior to that.
Paul Doherty is in an uncustomary position right now, playing from behind. Not many times have they trailed this season. Right now down 21-14 here in the closing minute plus of this second quarter. It's been a wild ball game.
I think once again, if they don't go to their wides, they're going to go to that jailbreak screen. Don't be surprised they run that jailbreak screen, and perhaps if they see that Monterey Trail goes to man coverage, they may run quarterback draw, even though they've dropped the safety extra deep, Will, as you mentioned. They've dropped the safety back 15, 20 yards. That quarterback draw is there if they need it, or the jailbreak screen.
There's the punt away from Antonio Williams, but it takes a great Bulldog roll, and it's going to trickle down near the 20-yard line. So we're going to call that a stop and a punt.
Very definite stop, and surprisingly, Folsom's teams in the past seem to never punt.
40 yards on that Bulldog punt, counting the roll, and Monterey Trail will open shop at their 20.
Well, Folsom showed a lot of respect for Monterey Trail with that punt, Will. Believe me, that's not characteristic of the Bulldogs.
No, it's not. In fact, that was rather shocking. I didn't expect to punt there.
Not at all.
So we'll see what the Mustangs want to do with 1:11 remaining. tight formation, protecting the football.
I think they'll just run it inside and go to the half with this lead.
They do pick up a couple.
There's no way.
Caleb Ramseur, another carry. 2nd and 8 from the 22. Less than a minute to go now here in the first half. It's been a wild one, too.
I think they'll run one more play and call it a half.
It's one thing to see Folsom behind on the scoreboard, but another to see them trailing at the half.
Very rare.
30 seconds left in the second quarter here. That may be the final play. Hard tackling there.
I think he recovered his own fumble. There was a loose ball there.
Well, this is ticking down with less than 10 seconds remaining. Doubtful that they'll run another play, and this half is going to end with a 21-14 Monterey Trail lead. How about that? Yes, you heard that correctly. Monterey Trail 21, Folsom 14 at the half. Don't wander off, because shortly we're going to join our partner, Lauren Goodman. She'll be speaking with one of the prominent cast members here. A big part of tonight's football game. This is a Division I semifinal. And let's toss down to field level and Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Well, guys, I'm here with the leader for the Folsom Bulldogs. Coach, you guys are in very unfamiliar territory, trailing after the first half. Talk to me about how you feel your team's performing right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's unfamiliar for us. I mean, we've been in competitive games all year. These guys are playing well. It's a semifinal. We were in the same boat last year, 21-14 with these guys. We were up last year. We're down a touchdown here. We get the ball to start the second half, so I feel good about it. A lot of good looks. Feel like our team's playing okay, but you're not going to get a lot of opportunities against these guys, so you got to take advantage of it.
Coach, they pretty much dominated the ball about 3/4 of the quarters in that first half. How do you guys either speed them up or get the ball out of their hands so you guys can get to your high-power offense?
Yeah, I think that's success on the offensive side of the ball. We got to get some first downs. We got to hold on to the ball when we do have possession of it, right? And then we have to try and capitalize on every down and situation when we hold on to the ball. We know that we're not going to win the clock control battle with these guys, and that's okay, as long as we take advantage of it when we have the ball.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Will.
Thank you, Goody. Certainly simple there in terms of Paul Doherty's explanation there. And as long as they do something good when they have the ball, they don't mind the time of possession for the Mustangs.
Well, yeah, we're just going to play offense here, and hopefully we can get the football back. But again, this clock has been dominated, perhaps more so than we expected, Will, here in this first half.
No doubt. Well, we're going to take a break right now, but encourage you to stand by. Lots more to come on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is going to take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero ir. Danny, no lo puedo hacer. Quiero ir. Danny, lo voy a hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs. Just keeping it real.
Louder! Louder! I'm gonna get my GED! Come on! Get your GED! Hey. Can you keep it down, brother? Thanks.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Nice to have you with us this evening. We're halfway home in this Division I semifinal battle. Top seeded, top ranked Folsom trailing here 21-14 to the number 5 seed Monterey Trail Mustangs, who broke out 14-0, and then the Bulldogs rallied for a couple of touchdowns to tie it, and then late in the second quarter, a concerted drive by the Mustangs. They were able to cash it in from short yardage and take the lead here at 21-14. So surprise, surprise, in case you thought it would be Folsom in control at the half.
Well, when you think about the fact that during the course of the whole year he's thrown a total of 72 passes, and tonight he's probably thrown more in this first quarter and part of the second quarter than he has in any one game. As we look at these halftime stats,
well, the guys in the truck have put together a special little package for us. Let's take a look. There's Monterey Trail and Timonen. They smack in a short yardage touchdown by Caleb Ramseur. And now a bad snap and a bobble and a fumble recovery right there.
Christian Calvin right on that one.
Hard running there, turn the corner. Prophet Brown, he's gonna go the distance to pay dirt. Beautiful job there, and that made it 14-0, but the Bulldogs came back starting with this. That's Riethmeyer going right up the center of the field, untouched, nobody near him, and the defense was not at home, even though Umi Wilson chased from behind.
Yeah, they were playing man-to-man and concentrating on their man, not watching Riethmeyer. Here he goes deep down the field. Badger with one of his circuit catches right over the top with great concentration, tying up the game.
Here's the go-ahead now. Caleb Ramseur again, hard running by the little guy, and power plus right there. 21-14 at that point in time. It looks like you got some more arithmetic, Jim.
Yeah, we got stats coming in here from Rob Bimpson, left and right, of course, in the passing game. Folsom 3 for 10. As we noted early, Riethmeyer was overthrowing his receivers. And then Monterey Trail 5 for 7 in the first half. Remember, he went 1 for 6 last week down there in Stockton. Comes out tonight 5 for 7 for 79 yards. Wow. And so that's a surprise. I'm sure the Bulldogs were surprised with that.
I think everybody in the stadium certainly. We've got some scoring updates for you, but it looks like Lauren Goodman might be active down on the field level there. Quite a festive occasion here tonight in this semifinal, but the host crowd not as excited as the visitors. Let's take a look now at first half stats compiled by Rob Bimpson. Well, there you have it. Rushing yards in favor of Monterey Trail. Passing yards very close, a slight edge for Folsom. Total yards, look who's out in front there by a good 50 yards. The one turnover belongs to number 1 Folsom. Penalties about even, but time of possession, Coach, lopsided.
Well, that figured, as we mentioned in our pregame talk, time of possession was definitely going to be one of the keys tonight. And Monterey Trail is using the clock with this veer offense. They're not just running dives at you, they're running misdirection. They're running pitches to the outside. And Timonen is surprising everybody. This is a great game plan by offensive coordinator Arcuri tonight versus the Bulldogs. They never expected this.
Well, let's turn our attention to Lauren Goodman, and she has some updates for us. Goody?
Yeah, guys, you want to know some scores that are happening? We're going to go out to Elk Grove. At Consumnes Oaks right now, Elk Grove has a 21-14 lead over Consumnes Oaks. Up a couple of X's away from here, Inderkum is down to Oak Ridge, 21-28. Also, we have a big game from Center. I know Jim Domino been looking out for the Center Cougars. They're up 35-6 over Bradshaw Christian. Capital Christian has a 13 points right now over Manteca 7, and then Rio is over Sierra 7-0. Back to you.
Thanks, Goody. Yes, things taking shape. Boy, that's quite a game up the hill there at Oak Ridge, 28-21 over Inderkum. And
that's a lot of points for halftime, isn't it?
It is. And this 21-14 lead for Elk Grove over Casumnas Oaks, that's got to be a wild one as well.
Well, yeah, we got a lot going on here. A tight game down there with Buhawk calling in Placer. Wow, that's tight. And, of course, Oakdale every year, I can't remember when they weren't in the playoffs.
No, they're a permanent fixture. We're going to take a little break right now as we're in the halftime intermission here at Prairie City Stadium at Folsom High School in this Division I semifinal. Scoreboard shows Monterey Trail leading the Bulldogs 21-14. Stay with us.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
Wow! I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark.
That was awesome! Let's go again.
3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
There's a quiet battle happening on our streets. Pedestrians are acting indestructible. And drivers act like they own the road. They're both wrong. Be aware, be alert. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Welcome back. Nice to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's telecast of the hometown sports game of the week in this Division I semifinal, and a bit of a surprise at the halfway mark with Monterey Trail on top 21-14 over top-seeded Folsom High School, and I'm quite sure both of those opposing locker rooms right now are the coaches, I'm quite sure, are laying out the game plan for the second half just ahead, Jim.
Well, I'm sure they are, and both these coaches have a lot of experience. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments made, and some of the players are going to have to be very attentive to their coaches because they're not used to playing behind. So we're going to find out. They had to do it last week. They tried to do it against De La Salle, but adversity, that's where you really find out what a player is about, if he can play in adversity type of ball game, and certainly tonight it is. And once again, a great camp. One thing is having a game plan coming in, and now TJ and Coach Arcuri now are going to have to execute it, and even to a higher level in the second half. They've used that clock wisely.
They have indeed. Oftentimes statistics can be misleading, but tonight they are not. They point right to the source of how this ball game got to where it is right now at the intermission. And if we go back and look at the passing efficiency for the Bulldogs, that has been their bread and butter. They have clicked on some plays, but Riethmeyer has overthrown his receivers a few times. Those strikes have been there, but pretty tight coverage on a number of the breakups.
Well, I'm impressed with Prophet Brown back there, Jamari Jackson playing good defense, Lands playing good defense, and pressure up front from Wilson, Calvin, Keenan, and Broadway. You know, this is so tough because they have so many people are capable of going to the house. Badger and Hutton and Anderson, Meneghetti, and then of course Nagata hasn't played much of a role in this game thus far. And are we going to see more of him and getting the ball to him in the second half, Will?
I'm really surprised that he has been a virtual stranger in the game plan throughout the first half, particularly as a potential receiver, as you see some of this wild and excited crowd here tonight at Prairie City Stadium. But if they're paying that much attention to Badger and to Hutton, Nagata's got to be open, and he can do plenty of damage when he catches a swing out of the backfield.
Excellent, yeah. And I think that they've gone more to Broussard than I have seen them in the past. Now, we know he's a transfer and everything, but they've gone to him quite often tonight.
They have indeed, and he's a quality receiver. He did plenty of statistical production over at Cosumnes Oaks, and just in part of a season here, he's already clicked for 6 touchdowns in, you could say, a role as being their third receiver to go to behind Badger and Hutton. I mean, they've got the weapons, but they have not had the football very long tonight.
Well, when you think about the role that Dan Nagata had last year, when his brother Big Joe was the feature, but Dan caught a lot of balls for a lot of yards last year. And a little bit difference in the philosophy in that Coach Doherty versus Coach Taylor. Taylor liked to get the ball, and Coach Richardson, I take it, Coach Richardson in the hands of a halfback as well as his wides.
No, a year ago there was not a more spectacular breakaway threat than Daniel Nagata, and his role has been minimized, and I think that's even an understatement. And he just has not had the opportunity to reach that type of production this season. But there's still a lot of football left, and I would not forget about him in their overall game plan.
Not at all. Perhaps they're talking about that as we speak, and we know he played a big role last week. He probably had the most running yards in any single game than he's had all year long.
No doubt. More than 160 yards and a touchdown to go with it in their narrow victory over Edison of Stockton, 45-42. So the defense got shredded last week, but the offense able to overcome it. Tonight so far, that's in question.
Well, they've given up more points defensively than they have probably in the last 5 or 6 years, to my knowledge, really. And teams now do not come in here, at least this year, intimidated.
No, they can see that the defensive prowess of Folsom is down a couple notches from how it's been the previous several seasons, where it's just been dynamite. And it's not at that level this year, and games like the Oak Ridge League game earlier in the season and last week against Edison, pounding them for 42 points, it has shown that there are weak spots to be taken advantage of. Let's return our attention now to Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Coach, talk to me about your defense. You held the #1 team to 14 points in the first half. How do you feel they performed?
I feel great, and we're excited about the second half. That's really what we were looking forward to, is this second half part of it. I think our guys are really locked in. So Folsom's a great program, so it's going to be great to watch.
Coach, talk to me. You're very familiar with second halves. You know, it's 2 sides to the ball game, and they're going to have to complete for you guys to get this victory. What is it going to take for your team to finish out and get this done?
Senior leadership. At the end of the day, they brought us here, and they'll finish us here.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Will.
Thanks, Goody. Yeah, senior leadership, he's spoken of that for the better part of the week, and you can't say enough about it. Those are the guys that have been there the entire time, and those are the ones that are going to get you through the tough times.
Well, I know this. Coach Arcuri and Coach T.J. Ewing have been around for a while, of course, since the school opened. They are familiar with all phases of the game, two of the best. And they also, the thing I like about most is they care, not that other coaches don't, but there is a special thing that they care about their players, and they're constantly looking for leaders, and they don't micromanage those leaders. They let them take charge.
Well, I love that. Why fiddle with something that's worked well for you? So micromanaging only goes so far in the playbook. The team's back out on the field trying to get loose after an extended halftime talk with their respective coaches. What do you see?
Coach Doherty's on the move.
He's on the prowl, isn't he?
He's at a fast pace.
He's trudging, as a matter of fact. And, of course, he was not happy about the touchdown being nullified earlier in the evening. But maybe his inspiration can get them fired up. The official call that nullified the touchdown was one that we do not see very often, and it was covered on the line of scrimmage, illegal touching, and I don't know where he pulled that out of the rule book, but that was one that baffled everybody.
Okay,
especially Coach Doherty.
Yes, as you know, what you've got to have a minimum. They got to have 7 on the line of scrimmage, and you can't have more than 4 people in the backfield. So as Rob Bimpson is diagramming here for us, their slot back was up too close to the line of scrimmage, so now they have 8 on the line, LOS. Correct, Rob? LOS. It's 8 on the LOS and illegal procedure.
There it is there. So an infrequently called penalty because we don't see it that way very often, and it sure factored into this game big time. Well, Coach Doherty was pleased that they'll be receiving the second half kickoff and have first opportunity to even the slate here. There he is, Paul Doherty, in his first year as head coach here after being strength and conditioning coach a year ago, inheriting a fine ball club.
He is reinforcing, spreading some words of encouragement to all his players, telling them, hey, we've been there. We've been behind before. This is nothing new. Let's get after it. And with them receiving the ball, look for them Bulldogs to pick up the tempo here. They really have. And Monterey Trail has got to stay in there and play another 24 minutes of tough football. And certainly, if they could dominate the clock, like 17:59 out of 24 is outstanding.
Well, there you see one of the dangerous receivers in the area, Elijah Badger, number 5, and he's back deep to receive along with Daniel Ngata, 2 game breaker types. So as far as kicking instructions to Diego Soto, it would be something like, let's see a touchback.
Yes, don't kick to either. Put the ball in the end zone.
But can he get it there? We'll soon see. Diego Soto, 3 for 3 on PATs, 0 for 1 in the field goal department. Wide left on a 37-yarder. Crowd tonight, above average, somewhat less than I expected, but still well attended.
Well, it's a cold fall night and ideal football night. Not much breeze, is there? It's just nice and cold and crisp.
Vin Scully would say just a whisper of a breeze. 53 degrees at present. Nice and crisp. Enough to dress in layers this evening. We have an apparent delay. As you can see, Monterey Trail's kickoff team huddled. Could not guess why the delay, but the Folsom kick receive team is fully deployed.
Well, the question is, go to the end zone or keep it away from the too deep?
Well, we'll see if he has the leg, Jim. Now, DiGiorno has the leg kicking for Folsom. He's got 33 touchbacks this year.
Well, Soto only has 11 going into this contest, Will, so let's see what happens here. He is kicking from the south, though, and usually the ball sails a little more going south to north.
Okay, it's a short kick, bounding once, and Nagata's got it. Let's see if the strategy pays off, and he's up the sideline along the near side, running wild, tripped up, or he would have gone all the way. Wow.
Wow, it appeared like he was going out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
And maybe some of those defenders gave up on him, anticipating that. 42 yards on this kickoff return. Broadway able to finally bring him down.
Well, we said we expect Nagata to break loose. Look at this.
Tiptoe the sideline, chased by defenders everywhere, and Broadway finally tumbles him. So great field position upcoming. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, operating from the Monterey Trail 39. Motion from Nagata, and he's going to do the quarterback keep and drag down, or he would have shook loose for another touchdown.
Monterey Trail ought to be able to see that. They line up trips wide and put motion wide away from the play, and they've run it every time.
14 yards on the carry. 1st down, football at the 25. Riethmeyer looking to the sideline. Instruction from Paul Doherty. We're just underway here in the 3rd quarter. Nice to have you with us for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Right now, this Division I semi up for grabs. Big running room right side. Nagata finally caught at the 10, but it's another big gain and another 1st down.
Well, he looks like he is running with vengeance.
I would say that's a good description for this 15-yard carry.
Look at that move, inside, outside, and knocked out of bounds. Nowhere to go.
Here we go, another sweep to the right side, knocked out near the 5. Antonio Williams, the previous tackle, and helped out on this one.
Well, you're going to see a dose of Nagata here.
Penalty marker drop, Jim. We'll see about the call with Bob Reeve here.
Holding.
Well, I wouldn't say that's a drive buster, but it's going to cramp their style a little.
Well, Nagata looks
We
like
got a hold on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
Well, Nagata's on a mission.
$10 yards from the spot of the hold. Now Riethmeyer again looking on to the sideline.
The draw is open again.
Double wide receivers, both sides. Low snap, a bullet over the middle, caught on a slant inside the 10-yard line. Boy, that was a very narrow window there to Hutton, but on target. 1st down. Football at the 7-yard line, gain of 14. So they are just marching it right down the field. Riethmeyer, good time to throw for the corner.
Well,
broken up, nearly picked.
Well, that was a great job over there, cutting across. It looked like Lands saving the day.
Chris Lands, number 12, knifing in front for the deflection. Make it 3rd and 7. Same formation. Riethmeyer looks left all the way. Another slant. Broken up. Incomplete. Hard contact there. And some outstanding defensive pressure from Jamari Jackson. Here's another look at it.
They're bringing in the field goal team.
Tough D in the secondary. 4th and 7. Well, Navarro's going to hold for DiGiorno. They're going to spot it at the 15, make it a 25-yarder off the right, just inside the right hash. Plenty of distance, of course, and got it from 25. And that chips into the deficit now. It's 21-17. The field goal coming at the 10-19 mark early here in the third. So the drive stalls, but they salvage with a field goal.
Well, they could not afford to come away without a point here at that. And I don't blame Folsom for being smart, put 3 on the board, and get a little closer.
A lot of game to be played yet. And last week, a DiGiorno field goal proved to be the deciding margin in a 45-42 win versus a very tough Edison Ball Club from Stockton.
Well, big play Folsom went 6 plays, 39 yards in a minute and 31. Didn't take long to get that field goal with a nice 25-yard field goal by DiGiorno, getting this a little closer, 21-17. Monterey with their first chance with the football here the second half.
Well, the DiGiorno kickoff going way wide to the left and out of bounds. Let's see if Monterey Trail wants to open shop from the 35 here.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to do it, I would think.
Certainly. I wouldn't let them kick again. Yes, I would certainly go from here.
So the penalty on the kickoff helps the Mustangs. So they'll start.
We had a legal procedure on the kicking team. Kick the ball out of bounds. Monterey Trails elect to take the ball at the 35, first down.
Well, okay, reasonable decision there. A cold, crisp night here at Prairie City Stadium on the campus of Folsom High School in this Division I semifinal. 21-17, Monterey Trail on top, opening from their 35 here.
Well, that's unusual. Usually give it to the first back. This time they gave it to the second back, and he picked up about 4. Usually the straight dive handoff, Will.
Brown carries, and they do pick up 4. We'll call it a 2nd and 6 from the 39. So Prophet Brown again making his presence known. He had a big game in that quarterfinal victory down in Stockton over St. Mary's. He had a pick 6, returned to kickoff 80 yards, and threw a touchdown pass.
Well, very impressive.
He keeps and struggles to get a yard or so as he crosses the 40 to the 41. It's going to bring up a 3rd and intermediate. 3rd and 4 as that Folsom defense grudgingly gives up a couple on that. So 3rd and 4, wow, the choices are unlimited on this down and distance.
Well, yes, he could go outside, run that option pitch, or he can right toward the wide receiver.
Caleb Ramseur powers forward. Another tremendous second effort by that tough back. First down, Mustangs.
I'll tell you, he gets tough yards. What a clutch runner. Look at the spin again.
Dylan Richard couldn't hold him.
Wow.
And Lynch giving help couldn't stop that first down dive.
I'll tell you, Ramsire, he's got to be one of the toughest backs in this playoffs.
Shades of Drake Tofey 10 years ago.
Oh, was he a
small in stature, huge in talent and gut. From the 45.
Well, that's great get off there.
It surely is. That's a big gain right there, nearly another first down. The line surge there really doing the job. Ramseur again with the carry.
Well, Keenan and Telekai and Benwaite really getting off. Watch the line surge.
Here's a 9-yard run. Look at that line. Doing the job. A gain of 9.
Center Daniel Ramirez having a big night, getting downfield, leading the blockers.
2nd and 1 from the Folsom 46.
Yeah, they got some movement.
There was movement. Procedure against the Mustangs, it'll cost them 5 and bring up a 2nd and 6 as they move back across into Mustang territory at their 49. Clock rolling here at the 7:40 mark, nearing midway third. This has been a wild, unpredictable game thus far. Take nothing for granted. 2nd and 6. He keeps, darts through a hole, and picks up a nice chunk there. He's going to be a couple yards shy of a first down, however.
Well, I like Timonen's move there. A great fake inside to Ramseur, and the pitchback was open. Timonen doing a nice job, takes it in the running lane.
Surely did. Wong in on that defensive stop with Jake Melander.
Well, meanwhile, they're using that clock wisely, taking as long as they can in the huddle.
3rd and 1 from the Folsom 46. They got back the penalty yardage. Let's see if they can get one. This will be tough to get.
No, they got Folsom credit there.
He's short.
He's short a half yard.
The whole play was destroyed here by that defensive line.
That's not a good mark. He didn't get anything,
6
but
inches.
Wow.
4th and 1. 19 carries for Ramseur, 63 tough yards and a pair of touchdowns.
Tough yards is right. Let's see how they just figured Ramseur is handling the ball, but Folsom's not sure they call a timeout.
They didn't quite like what they saw. Timeout at the 6:10 mark. We're midway third, 21-17. Monterey Trail in the lead and trying to sustain a key drive here. And again, this game quite a different story than probably what most people factored in. They've expired 4 minutes and 9 seconds on this drive. 7th play upcoming, and you see that Monterey Trail huddle right there. This is a huge play coming up.
Big time. You know it calls for that usual dive of quarterback keeper, but who knows? The big time gambler play action pass might really bury them.
Is this the time for that?
Perfect.
It very well could be. If they're going to get an overcommitment by Folsom, this would be the situation.
Let's see the Folsom line up here. They got the whole world up. Let's see.
Single wide out to the far side.
Now they're in a 7-man front. That's great second effort.
They did. They stayed on the ground, smashed it hard, and Ramseur picks up the first down, moved the chains.
Well, I'll tell you, watch it again. Ramseur with tough yardage. Look at the leg drive. They had him back 2 yards. You know, you talk about first down Brown, but Ramseur can move the chains any day of the week.
No doubt. Dylan Richard and Alex Wong team on the stop. But it's a first down for the Mustangs at the Bulldog 43. Clock rolling, 5:40 to go in the third. Turn and give, a nice blast. Nice acceleration. Those look like fresh legs for Ramseur.
Wow, he sure did. Once again, a great surge by Keenan and Teleka. Mario Keenan, all 265. Wow, look at the get off here.
Ramseur's 20th carry of the evening.
And the clock ticking away.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Football at the Folsom 38. Nice line surge again. They make the 35-yard line, about a 3-yard pickup.
Well,
and it's going to leave them a couple yards short.
Well, I tell you, Timonen, give him credit for that, because I'll tell you, I thought he was going to keep it and take it back out from Ramseur, because that could have been a possible fumble play. That's a great effort by Timonen.
Third period slipping away here at Prairie City Stadium. This crowd pretty tense on both sides. Mustangs clinging to a 4-point lead. 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. Outside, Timonen cannot get there. It's going to bring up 4th and a yard.
Well, do they go left again? Do they go over Argumedo and Snipes? Snipes, 275.
Dylan Richard hobbling off the field. If that's, well, bad news for Folsom fans, certainly. But hopefully he can return to action.
Ball lead linebacker.
Lucas Wolf coming in to replace him. Here's 4th and 1. Hold on to yourselves. They blast and get about 5 or so. That was so fast off the ball. Caleb Ramseur.
He looked like he beat the count, Will.
Oh, that was fast, and particularly for this stage of the game when he's already had 22 carries.
He's running with fresh legs, like you said. Look at this.
Tough back right there. So fresh set. 1st and 10 from the Folsom 29. 3:20 to go, late third. Very impressive ball control drive. Antonio Williams, the motion man. A bob inside and a cut outside. Down the sidelines, tiptoe. Did he step out? He did. Prophet Brown. Spectacular, but a toe on the sideline apparently. But we've got a little conversation. They're going to call a hold against the Mustangs as we see the play again. Brown.
Well,
now, this is great camera work here.
Great camera work, but you know what?
He was inbounds all the way.
But they called a hold, and quite frankly, I think the Folsom bench made the call.
Say that again.
Hold on the offense.
The Folsom bench looked like they were making a call.
Repeat first down.
Tough luck for the Mustangs. Touchdown nullified. Let's take another look here. I didn't see any hold yet. 1st and 17. Mustangs have to do it the hard way. They pound it and get it 3 or 4. .250 to go. Late third. The gain goes to the 33-yard line.
Well, it's a long guy. 2nd and long here. Having seen that hold call here on our monitor that looked questionable.
Antonio Williams dispatched wide to the right. Everybody else packed in tight. Backs are split. Simona wants to throw, and he's grabbed and sacked. Boy, they pounced on him fast.
They sure did.
Blackwell got part of that sack.
Well, that put him in a hole.
Number 9, Blackwell. Look at this. That was awfully quick. And Furry was there, number 18 also. Loss of 6.
Davion Blackwell.
So from the 39-yard line, 3rd and 20. Motion down the line, and a flag flies. So this drive is
false start on the offense.
being destroyed now. 5-yard penalty.
Well, that holding penalty was blatant. That took away their touchdown. The holding play was huge.
We have an update up the hill. With 3:46 left in the third, Oak Ridge opening it up 42-21 over Inderkum.
Coach Cavalier and that tough Oak Ridge ball club
3rd and 25. 13th play of the drive, taking 9 minutes off the clock. Timonen to throw, right sideline. Incomplete, and a penalty marker flies. My, oh my. Blackwell was back there defending, but it was Coleb Higgins also closest. And another penalty flag flies. Oh my goodness. That one might be an unsportsmanlike, Coach.
On the bench over there or what?
On the field, I think perhaps some additional lip service from one of the players. There's Coach Doherty. Let's take another look and see if we can spot what may have happened. There was a bump with the ball in the air. And now an officials conference. I always worry when I see one of those. Anyway, here's
that
referee
definitely was a bump.
Bob Reeve.
We have a pass interference on the defense. It's a 3rd down.
What did they do with the dead
After
ball?
the play, we had a dead ball unsportsmanlike on Folsom.
So what would have been a 4th and 10, the unsportsmanlike turns it into a 1st down. Well, cooler heads should have prevailed.
Well, there was a defensive back standing over the play. We couldn't read lips, but it wasn't good.
And you wouldn't want to. They placed the football at the 15-yard line. And that right now looms as one of the big plays in this game.
Well, it is,
Going
along with
back
that hold which prevented the touchdown that got called back.
Yes, the phantom hold, right? Here we go. 1st down. Who wants it?
Well, what Folsom is doing up front now, since they're getting handled by the Monterey Trail, they're really submarining and cutting. It appears to me they're cutting here on the right side. I saw it that play, and
cut blocking.
To me, it appeared that that's what they were doing, cross body blocking there.
Folsom's been tagged for 7 penalties for 61 yards, and that factors into the.
Because Keenan and company are knocking them off the ball.
There's a toss. They run wide. Nowhere to go for Brown, but he wiggles up to the 10 as the 3rd quarter is rapidly expiring, and that should put an end to it. So they'll change ends of the field. We have played 3 in this D1 semi. Access Sacramento and Hometown Sports Game of the Week would like to thank Casa Ramos Mexican Food Restaurant in Folsom for sponsoring the TV crew meal tonight. This type of sponsorship really helps out a nonprofit foundation like us. Besides plenty of chips and homemade salsa and guacamole, we were provided with a sample of their burritos, taquitos, flautas, and quesadillas. All those with a mix of chicken and slow-cooked carnitas. Spectacular! So thanks again to Casa Ramos Mexican Food Restaurant for supporting Access Sacramento and Game of the Week. Well, let's turn our attention down to field level and Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Well, Will, I wanted to give you an update of actually what's going on the field. You saw that unsportsmanlike conduct on the last play from Folsom. There's some sideline bickering going on. The Monterey Trail side had to clean up their sideline, as well as Folsom's in a position they haven't been in all year, and they've been tested. They're getting heated. They're kind of getting frustrated. But we will see how this 4th quarter turns out, as it's all for the marbles right now. Win or go home. Back to you.
Thanks, Goody. Monterey Trail used up the last 10 minutes, 19 seconds of the 3rd quarter in this drive. 16 plays worth, still not finished. And here we go on a goal line situation. Toss to Brown, sweep left. Can he turn the corner? Stop for a defender and lurch forward. He's close. How about that?
What effort on that sideline.
He's had the presence of mind to stop and let that last defender go by. There he is, Prophet Brown. Another look. They had him cut off right there. What an effort. First and goal at the 2. 8 yards.
That was a big-time play. I'll tell you, between Ramseer and Prophet Brown, they've come through when it counted.
Boy, they certainly have. Here we go. Timonen. They smash it. No signal yet. Touchdown, Mustangs. Well, well, well. This has been quite a ball game, and Caleb Ramseer has his 3rd touchdown of the evening. And that young man has got power plus.
What a clutch play, and holding on to the football. What a long, almost 11-minute drive, my goodness.
Soto for the PAT. Long count, big rush. Got it at 11:45, early 4th. Let's take a look. Here's a couple replays. There's the short yardage touchdown. And there it is from another angle. Beautiful job, guys. Ramseer getting in. We've got a wild one here at Folsom High, 28-17.
Well, again, going back, we had an interference call and then a dead ball foul, which moved the chains. And I'm sure the Folsom coaches are not happy about that call on the far side, but players have got to stay disciplined. And certainly during a game like this, Will, both benches have got to stay in control.
Sometimes that's hard to control emotion on this level. This has been quite an evening.
What a drive, 17 plays, 65 yards, of which 30 on penalties. 10 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock in that drive.
I would say that factors into the TOP. A line drive pooch taking a high bounce at the 25-yard line. And breaking free, here's a huge run back. The Bulldogs in business. Can anyone catch him? Dropped. What a run back right there on a pooched kickoff. And it's Mitch Anderson doing the damage on special team, the former Del Oro Golden Eagle. You know the story, a transfer.
The Oak Ridge special, moving down from the top.
We got a penalty marker thrown. Let's see what the outcome is. Well,
from the back, it looked like, yeah, I agree, the former Oak Ridge Trojan who moved down the hill.
Well, here's the call we'll have coming up from referee Bob Reeve.
During the return, block in the back on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Well, the fans are not excited about that, Will.
Well, the penalty changes a 71-yard return to a 42-yard return for Mitch Anderson. Still in great field position, though. First and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Monterey Trail 33. 11:29, early 4th quarter. 28-17. Low snap, he's down to get it and runs it. Great second effort by Riethmeyer, and he's finally collared after a very tough 12-yard run. Looks like a first down. That play right there is just the 8th play of the second half for Folsom High.
Well, talk about dominating the clock. Jake Riethmeyer with a clutch run. I think he's got more yards than any of the Bulldogs tonight.
I believe so. Gain of 11 on that to the 22-yard line. Riethmeyer wants to throw, throws deep right corner, got a man there. Touchdown Bulldogs on the reception by Badger. His second touchdown catch of the evening, 22 yards. That was a great strike by Riethmeyer.
Well, once again, he's standing back there with no pressure, none whatsoever. And it's so tough to really defend against receivers like Hutton and Badger for that long. Again, I'm not blaming anybody. It's just that when they were applying heat earlier in this contest, Riethmeyer was throwing off his wrong foot, throwing high and overthrowing people, but not now.
And really, the way he got rid of that so quickly, I don't know if any pass rusher could have got to him. That was
Perhaps
a quick
so.
release. They're going to go for 2 and try to get within a field goal. He looks left and fires a bullet. Incomplete. Possible drop there by Badger. Looked like he had both arms around it and couldn't hold it. I believe he's conceding that as a drop right there.
I think so.
Don't see that too often. So it stays 28-23. Bulldogs within a touchdown, but not within a field goal. Let's take a look here. Here's Riethmeyer.
Going up top. Right there, right on the money. Beautiful.
That was a strike. 33 yards on 2 plays that took 30 seconds. I guess that's a quick way of getting back into the game.
But now they are 5 off. They're not within field goal. They're 1 possession back. A touchdown could put them ahead. This is an important drive for Monterey Trail.
After this kickoff, we'll check in with Lauren Goodman. Here's the boot. It's an onside kick. Who can get to it? A scramble and a loose ball. Bulldogs were hoping for a recovery there, but apparently Monterey Trail had a guy there for a key recovery. Let's join Lauren Goodman.
Up to all of the hype, but we know who they will be facing. The winner out of this game will be facing Oak Ridge, who has a 56-21 lead over Inderkum right now, just a couple of blocks up the road. Back to you.
Thanks, Goody. Wow, what a shock. Terry Stark's Tigers going flat in the second half. And
give Coach Cavalier and his group the credit. They've played in a lot of big games, and they're waiting for the outcome of this one.
Yes, they are. Outcome in question right now. First down, Mustangs from the 34. Antonio Williams in motion. A quick blast as usual, predictable for 3. This possession, as you say, Jim, ultra critical for the Mustangs.
Huge.
They need to sustain, keep working the clock, and then get a score for some insurance.
A tough 3 yards, and give credit to Prophet Brown and Caleb Ramseur for running tough tonight, and probably Victor Timonen playing the game of his life at quarterback.
Certainly a game with the most pressure, no doubt. Up the middle, big room. All the way across midfield. That was outstanding right there on a 2nd and 6 from the 38.
It looked like Ramseur, but I can't. Ramseur couldn't tell here. Yes, it was. He runs like Ramseur.
Plus 13. Let's take another look at that 13-yard run. Boy, he was quick through here. He's past 8 defenders right there.
And he's good for a couple of more after contact. Ramseur.
Dragged down in the secondary. Lonnie Turbin had part of that tackle. Football at the Folsom 49. Up to the line come the Mustangs, trying to pull one off tonight. Turn and give. A loose football. No telling who's got it.
Well, Monterey Trail appears to have recovered their own fumble.
My, oh my. And it was Timonen with the recovery. He was alert enough to dive in there and make that recovery. Let's see how that came loose. Boom, right there.
Well, yeah.
I think that was Chris Lands with that carry.
Lands with the yeah, I guess they're giving a break to Brown or Ramseur for a few plays.
That was a strip job, but it's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Not much there.
Not enough.
Well, I'll give them a couple at most.
Well, that is going to bring up a very dicey play here. Yes, that 56-21 margin, Oak Ridge holds over Inderkum. Quite a shocker, huh?
Well, again, going up to Oak Ridge was very tough. Very tough for Intercom and company.
And many folks thought that would be the game of the night. I think we have the game of the night.
Perhaps we made the right decision here.
8:05 to go, 4th quarter. Plenty for a first down. What a tough back.
Wow.
Over and over again has he dazzled or what? Caleb Ramseur.
Over and over and over. Talk about crutch. Tough running. Watch the give to Ramseur. Look at him going, battling, twisting, picking up an additional 4 or 5 yards after contact.
I don't think we've seen many players run like that tough this year. That was exceptional. 1st and 10 from the Folsom 31. What a drive. Up the right side slash, he gets about 4 or so to the 25.
That's a smart move by quarterback Timonen. He's protecting the football, and certainly he's had a game, probably the game of his career here tonight, picking up a nice, actually 5-yard gain.
He sure did. Dominic Navarro with the tackle. 31 carries for 117 tough earned yards for Caleb Ramseur. 2nd and 5 from the 26. Boom.
Nobody.
That was some defense right there. That was a shot. Ramseur again.
Well, 51 was in there right now.
Let's take another look.
Well,
boom.
It looked like Apollo Jeffs had to come in there in replacing. We thought we had an injured linebacker in
Dylan
there.
Richard.
Yes.
So it'll be 4.5 off the clock on this drive. Uh-oh, extracurricular. Mario Keenan, 77 of Monterey Trail, almost.
Well, they're short about 2 yards here.
Yes, they are. They're calling it a 4th and 3. It looks closer to 2. All right, Coach, what you gonna do?
Well, you know they've gone to their meal ticket, Ramseur, and he's money, but that's a long 2 here. Let's look at the line splits.
Tight formation.
Wow.
I don't know. This is going to be really close.
I think if he gives him the measurement of the field judge, he might got it. He might have got it.
Boy, they put it on Ramseur again. Now here's referee Bob Reeve.
Let me see where they put that ball. I thought he got another foot, to be honest with you.
Here's another look at the play.
I thought he had another 6 inches to a foot, but let's see here.
Hard to say from that angle.
Well, I'm watching the foot of the head linesman marking it. And
well, they've got the chains out, and let's see what happens. This is going to be a matter of inches, as they say. Game of inches. There it is there.
First down.
That's a first down. How about that? I guess that didn't set well with some of the folks up here. Press box. 1st and 10.
Well, key drive, no hurry.
We got tempers flaring out here right now, and it's real chippy. Officials need to get a hold of the game right now.
Yeah, a lot of going on.
From the 21, 1st down, 5:18 to go. Time-consuming plays.
Well, there's after, the whistle, like you said, Will, there's a lot of things going on after the whistle and the ball carrier down.
Yes, you could say. Let's take another look at the last carry.
Monterey Trail hasn't made many mistakes, huh? Have they fumbled the ball at all?
Okay. You could say it's a matter of desperation now, facing the Bulldogs.
Oh yeah, they're coming after the ball and trying to pick the ball, trying to strip the ball.
Clock rolling, 4:38 and ticking. 2nd and 7. Here's a toss. They're going to go wide. It's hemmed in by Dylan Richard, but a stop and go move gets some of the yardage back. They were ready for that.
They were. It looked like we got a timeout called.
Let's take another look at that last play. Dylan Richard back into the game, and he's all over it. But the stop and go enabled some extra yardage there.
Well,
that was Brown.
That's a great move by Prophet Brown.
He's done a couple of those this evening. The timeout is taken by Folsom. It comes here at the 4:24 mark, 4th quarter. Let's reset this game for you. 28-23 as you get a good look at that Bulldog defensive alignment there. And they're on the spot to get a stop here. Monterey Trail broke out to a 14-0 lead. As you see Paul Doherty working our game referee Bob Reeve. The Bulldogs came back and tied it at 14. And then Monterey Trail took the lead, and they have held the lead, surrendering another 10 points. But they're on top 28-23.
They need 3 yards, and they've got 2 downs to get 3 yards. So
12th play of the drive upcoming. Folsom only has managed 8 plays in the half. Here we go. 3rd and 4. I don't know how much that got, but they're going to need 4th down.
He got more than half of it. He's short, but he's close. Half a yard away, maybe, or yard.
Yard. Okay, another look at Caleb Ramseur defying all odds, just powering up there. So they need a yard to sustain. Are they going bread and butter?
Well, how could you not go to Ramseur? But meanwhile, Folsom figures, let's see if they cut the line of scrimmage and see him know where to go.
Well, this is going to have a huge bearing on the outcome.
Yeah, to me, it looked like he got it.
Well, the Mustangs think they got it.
He's got at least a yard or so, and they're going to move the chains.
Well, that was huge. They go for it on 4th down and cash it in. 1st and 10 Mustangs, and Bulldog hopes are flickering.
They are. Watch Ramseur going hard, leg driving across.
38 carries this evening for Caleb Ramseur. He had 31 against St. Mary's last week. And we got a final score up the hill, 56-21, Oak Ridge over Inderkum decisively.
Coach Cavalier and Eldorado Hills has got to be happy tonight.
1st and 10 from the 11. A whistle and a penalty are going to kill this play.
Oh, he's going to delay. That was a fast 24 count. Wow.
We had a dead ball, delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
That was fast.
1st down.
That was the fastest count I've seen.
Prairie City Stadium style.
Wow.
-5. make it 1st and 15 now. So the Mustangs get clipped for a delay of game penalty. This entire Bulldog contingent hanging by a thread. Antonio Williams out wide to the left. Everyone else packed in tight. Backs are split. I think Timonen kept the football on that play, but got next to nothing. He did.
Well, they're sending Timonen to the sideline a little too often. I mean, come on, because the field judge here is really watching the count to get ready to play count suddenly here. And the count seems to be moving much faster.
Well, this is where you want that one play that you know you've been saving it, you've been holding back. You need the big play in this series. It's 2nd and 14. Here it comes. Brown hemmed in and cannot get away. Dropped near the 15.
Folsom wants to use a timeout. I know that. I know they're going to use it. Timeout, Folsom.
So they've got 2:12 left on the clock. And a moment of decision for TJ Ewing and the Mustangs. Looking at a 3rd and 15. Well, certainly what they don't want to do is turn the ball over.
No, they don't, but if I recollect, that's the second timeout for Folsom, I believe. I know they've had 2, because the scoreboard to me doesn't seem like their timeouts are right. Could be the 3rd.
If they can't get in on this 3rd down play, a field goal will not assure a 2-possession game. It would simply give them an 8-point lead that could be equaled with a 6 and a 2.
They do have to come away with something. I agree with you, Will.
All right. You can put quite a bit of the value on the game on this play. He's going to throw for the end zone. Antonio Williams, touchdown Mustangs on a circus catch going out of bounds. What a grab.
Was that Timonen put the nose of the football up there, and what a catch.
What a gutsy call by TJ Ewing and company, and Antonio Williams continues his stellar performance. Wow, 34-23.
And on top of it, he's played an outstanding defensive game as well.
Soto on for the PAT. It's the first completion in the second half for Timonen, and boy, is that a big one. Spot boot on the way and got it at 2:14. Here's another look at the scoring play. What a grab right there. My, again, different angle. Beautiful replays. Let's have another. That is just exquisite. Antonio Williams, what a strike from Timonen.
Wow.
And Coleb Higgins beaten on the play for the touchdown.
Great camera work. Phenomenal. 3 angles. Beautiful.
Timonen with the greatest pass of his career thus far. And that is a 12-point lead. 8.5 minutes, 16-play drive, 66 yards, cashed in with a 15-yard aerial connection. Timonen to Williams for the TD. So they are set for the kickoff, and this crowd is stunned. We see people filing out already. Line drive kick taken on the dead run. Boom. Dropped with authority on that play. And that was defensive end Umi Wilson, 24, with that hard tackle.
Huge hit. Huge hit. I'll tell you, holding the ball, you know, we talked about them having the ball 17 minutes of the first half. In my estimation, and I know Rob will help us here, that right now it seems like they've had ball more than that 17 they had in the first half, and I'm going to say 18 to 20 minutes of the second half.
Well, their work is cut out for them. Riethmeyer and company need to make up a couple of touchdowns fast. 1st and 10 from the 19. Fire left. It's complete to Nagata. He slips away from one man, and he's got the sideline to himself. Cut back. He's open. 40, 30. Still loose. Cuts back to the 20. What a scintillating run. Dropped inside the 10. Daniel Nagata. 72 yards. And he just woke up this crowd. A minute 48 to go. 1st and goal from the 8. Throw to the end zone. Trying for a one-handed tip. Was it intercepted? It was, but they say, did they give it to him?
Yes, touchback.
Intercepted.
Touchback.
Brown with the pick off the deflection. Jubilation exploding across the way on the Monterey Trail side. If you can get a shot over there, you'll see some excited people. And here's another look at that interception. Riethmeyer fires off the fingertips and intercepted by Brown.
Intended for Zach Cottrell. Look at this.
How about that?
Wow. And now Monterey Trail with the ball back, already occupying 19 minutes and 13 seconds of the second half.
We've never seen this kind of ball control before.
Not in the history of our program. No way.
No way. That was just masterful. No timeouts. No timeouts. Monterey Trail working that clock. It looks like 26 seconds. And this one is almost in the book. Jubilation on one side. The handshake lines have been formed. The agony of defeat. Dylan Richard of Folsom, a great linebacker. And their season has come to an end in a shocking fashion here at Prairie City Stadium in this Division I semifinal. TJ Ewing, you see there, head coach of Monterey Trail. What an effort the Mustangs put up tonight on the road against the #1 seed.
Biggest victory, I'm sure, of TJ's career here tonight. I'll tell you that. Monterey Trail owned the clock.
Would it be safe to say that the burning memory of that humiliating loss from last year's championship game was holding all this time on the minds of the Mustangs?
And they waited a year to come back and avenge that defeat. And I'll tell you, what an effort. Really dominating the clock. 17 minutes of the first half plus 19, almost 20. That's incredible that you could have the ball that long in any high school football game.
It is incredible. That type of ball control just isn't seen, and certainly against a quality ball club like the Folsom Bulldogs, to have possession denied for the overwhelming majority of the game.
Amazing. 36 minutes out of a 48-minute game, they had the ball.
Think about that. 36 out of 48. And we may never see that again. But I love the sportsmanship out here. Great ball clubs with respect. And this was a hard-hitting, brutal game. And upset of the year, and certainly one of the top upsets we've seen in 22 years.
Without a question, they came here with vengeance. Their players played on every key third and fourth down conversion. They made it when it counted.
They certainly did. Monterey Trail was so well prepared for this game. Their revamped game plan that featured a plethora of passing plays, probably a total that they wouldn't have had in any 4 games all tonight. And it kept Folsom off balance. And Timonen, after a standout performance last week in Stockton, tonight was far superior, and his greatest effort, I'm sure.
Timonen played the game of his life, and I certainly think that it's very difficult to pick MVPs with such a great performance. It was a total team effort. And obviously, we can only pick 1 or 2 from each team. But you look at the line play on key downs on Monterey Trail. Incredible. And then, of course, Ramseur with the second effort on everything he did. But when you look at that line play and you look at the number of two-way players that had fresh legs for Monterey Trail after holding the ball, mission accomplished. Keep the ball away from Folsom, and they did.
To perfection. We're going to step back and take a break right now. Don't wander off. In our post-game segment, Lauren Goodman will be interviewing our players of the game and the winning coach. So don't wander off. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Oh,
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening here at Prairie City Stadium on the campus of Folsom High School, where tonight, in a thrilling and unexpected outcome in this Division I semifinal battle, Monterey Trail upsets the number 1 seed Folsom Bulldogs by a final count of 35-23, and what a game it was. The Mustangs jumped out in front in this ball game. They were tied at one juncture, 14-14, but they never relinquished, Coach, and held on to that lead. Quarter scoring, Monterey Trail 14 in the first quarter, Folsom 14 in the second quarter, but 7 in the second quarter for the Mustangs put them on top 21-14 at the half. Folsom drew closer with a field goal in the third quarter, the only scoring in the third, but a 14-6 edge in the fourth finished it for Monterey Trail. Let's turn our attention now down to field level, and Lauren Goodman, she is standing by with our players of the game. Goody?
Well, Will, you gave me a full load tonight, and I have all the stars over here for the Mustangs. Let's talk to Prophet Brown first. Prophet, you came out, you were running the ball extremely well. Talk to me about your team's preparation coming into tonight's game.
Really just get downhill and be physical. Really, that's basically the game plan, to just, punch it, and then score.
Now, you guys had a ton of emotion every play. How much was the last year's game in your mind for you and your role this season coming into tonight?
It was big. It had a big impact, like games like that you don't forget about. So you got to really just prepare all year, all season for the best of the best. And that's
now, your team is extremely focused. I heard a lot of guys like, hey, this is not over. We got practice tomorrow. We're getting ready. Talk to me about your team and how focused you guys on finishing the season.
We really want this state championship. It's going to mean a lot to us in the program. Even the section championship is going to mean a lot to us. So we came in with the mentality from the beginning of the year, like that this is just only the beginning,
Prophet, talk to me a little bit. You guys, you were part of the track state championship and the just success that you guys had over the 2 years. How focused is this ball club, and how good is this team right now?
This team is really good. It's a state caliber team, I know, because this team is really fast. We won the state track championship, and we just have just as fast people coming up. So speed is really helps a lot.
Well, it can tell a lot. Good luck on the next game against Oak Ridge. Now, the playmaker tonight, Williams, you came out. You said people are doubting you. How do you feel like you played tonight and stepped up?
I stepped up big, and when my team needed a play to be made, I was there for it anytime, any play. We was just good. And our O-line, they was there every game, every play they was dominating.
Can you take me through that last play? What was the call for you in the corner? You were by yourself, single coverage. Can you just talk to me about the play call and then how you made that catch at the end?
They said, this your play right here. This your play. I'm like, all right, I got it. I ain't going out this year.
Now, your defense was phenomenal as well tonight. Can you tell me what play was bigger? Was the catch in the corner bigger or the defensive stop for the turnover on the end?
That was a tough one. You got a young guy like Prophet, nice speed, nice coverage. He was there to be made, plus me. It was just good all around. It's probably the catch.
Sounds good. Let's switch spots here. Now, I got the senior. All year, you guys have been just talking about the senior leadership, Caleb, and how you guys want to perform and play. Can you talk to me about the seniors tonight?
The seniors tonight, we came out really hard. We just knew that they were a great team and had seniors too, that we had to fight to get this win. Like, we had to do everything we could to win.
Now, this is my third time getting to talk to you, Caleb. You're like one of the smallest backs in the city, and you run so powerful, so hard. How much work have you really put in and trained so you can get to that elite level?
I put a lot of work in over the summer. I knew coming after Jahil, I knew he pulled the biggest tires, so I just knew I had to get on those big tires and run as hard as I could, and everything would fall in place.
Can you tell me one thing that's really special about this group as you are one of the senior leaders?
One thing that's special about our group is we all been together for a long time. We've been in junior Mustangs, and we've been going to the same elementary schools, middle schools, and we just love each other, and it's a bond that can't break.
Well, it seems like you guys are really together right now and focused. Good luck in that championship game against Oak Ridge. Now, I'm here with the leader, Coach, really passionate after the game. A lot of hugs with your team, emotional. Can you take me through your mindset of this game and what you were thinking at that end of the stretch as you got this W?
Well, it's just a lot of hard work. You know, I'm really proud of the kids' effort and commitment over the years. And a lot of these guys played junior program for us, so we watched them, you know, commit to what we try to do and what our philosophy is. And we really believe in the Mustang way and how we do approach things. And it's not easy, and we don't step aside from that. We know, you know, the kids go through is very hard, grueling commitment, and but at the end of the day, that makes a man, you know. And we've had some great men and women go through our program, and it's all part of the process. So.
Coach, you've been there for 15 years, only coach in school history. Can you just take me through what does it mean to finally get over the hump of Folsom? They've been a juggernaut for pretty much everybody that they've played in this local area. What does it really mean to the city and for you guys to get over that hump?
Well, we're humbled by the experience, but at the end of the day, you know, when you have great teams in your section, they elevate everybody else's level. So, you know, that's all they did for us. We just knew, you know, after we lost them last year, we were like, set a goal to accomplish this right here. So, you know, we had teams that were excellent coach teams that we played the first couple weeks, so we had to get through that, and that was hard enough. So this is by no means the end, right? We have another week of great football with Oak Ridge High School, a great program. So we know what our goals are and what our focus is going to be.
We know that it's all football on the field, but off the field, can you just talk to me about your bond with this senior group? We've had a lot of conversations about their leadership and how they've matured. What's your relationship with them? This is one more game left to that finals and then NorCal.
Oh, the leadership part is just the teaching, the everyday teaching. You know, there's no born leaders. You have to teach it. And so it's our responsibility as adults to kind of lead them on the process of how that all goes. And it's very difficult. It's really challenging. And the kids do a great job with their patience, and they're very committed to what we're trying to do. They really believe in what we try to do. It's a testament to the kids and their parents and how they raise them. So I just want to tell you I love them.
Well, congratulations again, Coach, going to that finals game against Oak Ridge. Will, that's all down here for the field. We're going to go back to you.
Well, thanks, Goody. A trio of outstanding performers and a great head coach there. And certainly we could have had a number of other Mustangs up there, including quarterback Victor Timonen.
Including that front line on offense as well.
Oh, the blocking and that offensive line was dynamite tonight. And, well, Rob Bimson has been crunching numbers. Let's take a look at final stats in tonight's ball game.
Well, here we have it. Final stats. Rushing yards, of course, Monterey Trail 238 to 112. A lot of that 112 was the draw plays by quarterback Riethmeyer. Passing yards, 195. We expected that to 101. Most people didn't even expect that you'd get 101 out of Monterey Trail. Total yards, 339, 307. Turnovers, no turnovers for Monterey Trail. 2 costly turnovers for Folsom. Penalties were very close, 61 yards of 57. But here's the difference maker beside the score below. The difference maker is 39 minutes out of 48 in a high school football game is incredible. 7 minutes, 41 seconds is all that Folsom had the ball. They produced 23 points in a shorter period of time. And that's what we talk about, big play Folsom. But then dominating the clock for 39 minutes, scoring 35 points. Successive weeks, they've scored 28 en route to this game. And tonight, they scored 35. One more that they've been scoring. But most of all, they dominated the clock. They kept the ball away from the potent Folsom offense.
That they did. It shows up in time of possession, and individually speaking, Caleb Ramseur, we talked about his hard running, the workhorse tonight, 38 carries, 130 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and Brown 8 carries for 77, and he had some pass receptions in there too that factored big. For Folsom, Riethmeyer, just 6 of 15, 195, and he had 6 carries and added 89, including that long touchdown run. And for Nagata, what do you have there?
23 total yards. Now, we're not counting that kickoff return. That's not in his yardage. That was a phenomenal run. Two returns for 97 yards. Huge. Just huge. And so there you have it. I mean, the most important thing is the scoreboard, 35-23. But let me tell you, between the rushing yards and time of possession, it was incredible. Badger, 2 catches for 47. That was their high man for the night.
Well, we saw quite a ball game tonight, and there are other scores around the area before we tell you what we're up to in the future. And here's the rundown. Wow, Oak Ridge 56-21 over Inderkum. In Division 2, Elk Grove parlayed 4 interceptions into a 28-20 victory over Cosumnes Oaks. 4 interceptions against Grigsby and Cosumnes Oaks. And tomorrow, of course, is the Whitney Jesuit matinee. In Division 3, Manteca clipped Capital Christian 20-14.
Well,
and what a victory it is for that program.
I would consider that an upset, without a doubt.
edges Buhawk Colony 21-20. Evening of close games. In Division 4, Sierra 21, Rio Linda 14. And elsewhere, Oakdale blew up Merced 51-27. Bradshaw Christian falls to Center 41-12. And we have an overtime game, a field goal, sudden death overtime. Mariposa County tops Denair in a D7 championship game. So, boy, oh boy, thrill of victory, agony of defeat. We saw it all here tonight and elsewhere around the Sac-Joaquin section. Plenty of the same, especially in those close games. 1-point games and one score games, Jim. Just tight competition.
Well, when you get to the final semifinals like that, that's what it's supposed to be. But, we have some rematches coming into play. We saw one tonight. Elk Grove got revenge, getting a victory over Cosumnes Oaks. Just a month ago, we covered that game, and it was Cosumnes Oaks beating Elk Grove at Elk Grove. And this time, Elk Grove went to Cosumnes Oaks and defeated them there. Now, tomorrow's big game at Jesuit with Whitney. The winner is to meet Elk Grove. Again, a rematch if Jesuit wins, okay? And, of course, the Oak Ridge match coming up next week versus this Monterey Trail football team should be a great football game. Just a lot of good football teams at crunch time here playing. Placer's still in it. Joey Montoya doing a great job up there. Surprisingly, Rio Linda's out of it this year after being state champion last year. So that's the way it goes. Center having an undefeated season from day one.
Well, that's the way it shakes out elsewhere around the area for you scoreboard watchers. But tonight, what a show we saw. Monterey Trail knocks off number 1, Folsom, by a score of 35-28 in a real humdinger. Next week, well, we're going to keep you on hold because we're going to go back inside onto the hardwood. And in mid-December, we'll open up basketball coverage with a holiday tournament yet to be determined. So stay with us. Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week, bringing you top action from around the Sac-Joaquin section. That being said, thanks to Folsom High School administration for the excellent broadcast arrangements and accommodations. Thank you to our entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, including game director Nick Dunn. And a special thanks to Rob Bimpson, our outstanding statistician. And of course, my usual gratitude to my broadcast partners, the Imperator, Jim Domino, and the queen of the Game of the Week, Lauren Goodman. I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us tonight and look forward in a short time down the road to cross your path again. So long again. Final score from Folsom, 35-23. Monterey Trail tops the Bulldogs. So long, everyone.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.